Chapter 10: How to Win the Guerrilla War Against the World Cult. Supercharge yourself with tried and true strategies for building up personal power. You have the power to heal your life, and you need to know that. We think so often that we are helpless, but we're not. We always have the power of our minds. Claim and consciously use your power. Louise L. Hay. We're nearing the end of our journey together through Cultlandia, and then, who knows, maybe I will indeed slide off the map into the curling mists of legend, dropping into a barrel while leaving my Substack behind as my legacy, proving that, like Kilroy, I was once here. All joking aside, we do have some unfinished business, including some of the most potentially life-changing material in this ebook, concepts worth the proverbial weight in gold, where our discussion of cults, cultism and the way out of this occult construct is concerned. First, in this chapter I'll share the 11, this time a master number, chosen simply to tempt gematria junkies to make much ado about nothing, most effective and efficient strategies I've discovered for maximizing personal power. The world cult is ingeniously designed to deplete our energy, leading to literal disempowerment and defeat by the great parasite in the game of this simulacrum, which I've likened to a war of consciousness. This means that winning the war, peacefully in a way that could never be done in a head-on confrontation with our Sauronic spiritual adversary forever keeping a lidless eye on us, necessarily involves guerrilla tactics for energizing and empowering ourselves. All of the strategies I'm about to share are monetarily free to implement, but let me warn you that most of them require an expensive energy exchange. You have to be willing to put in considerable time and effort to learn and perform them, purposefully and regularly. These techniques tend to be most powerful after one has spent a little time invoking the new Kular option, a grand gesture of not doing, to use shamanic terminology, with respect to the world cult, as detailed in the previous chapter, but they can certainly be useful whenever implemented. Then to wrap things up with a conclusion in which nothing will really be concluded, in Chapter 11 I'll give my 2 cents on the outlook for the individual path out of here as well as the future of community, the micro, and our society, the macro, such as it is. A sound strategy for using these strategies. I've ranked the following approaches to building up personal power in ascending order of effectiveness based on my own experience and observation. Meaning this list is entirely subjective like everything else in this maddeningly malleable dreamscape. Since people are so individualized, if not yet, for the most part, individuated, it's entirely possible you'll find what works best for you toward the beginning or middle of the list. My recommendation is to trust your gut instinct and then just go for it. Make your decision like a warrior, as Don Juan counsels Carlos Castaneda, and then don't look back. If and when you decide to switch gears and try something different to fire up your mojo, fine, but don't question that either. Get out of your head because that's where the great parasite has the most control over you. Endeavor to just act and be. Mental quietude, what I sometimes call silent stillness, in which we learn to connect with the universal flow of energy all around us and truly experience ourselves as co-creators with all that is, stands out as an important goal, however brief and intermittent our experience of it might be, of these techniques. Silent stillness is powerful medicine against the deleterious effects of the world cult. In practice it functions like a systemic parasite cleanse with respect to our spiritual adversary, who finds such clean-burning energy unpalatable and leaves those who emit it well enough alone. In such a state of no mind, or amamati, in which we, at least temporarily, become one with the creative source of all manifest experience. We cease to feed the great parasite by interfacing with its installed operating system, the human download. At this point we experience the beginnings of genuine freedom, the transcendent breaking free from the matrix which is the primary goal of these techniques. I'll return to breaking free, the subject of subjects here in the simulacrum for genuine freethinkers, at the end of this ebook. One should normally experience silent stillness more and more by consistently engaging the following strategies. Thus I don't list classical meditation, which I frankly don't enjoy and never greatly benefited from, as a technique in itself, since increasing personal power organically engenders meditative states of pure awareness. Note that you're also free to try out more than one of these techniques at a time. Having said this, FOMO, or fear of missing out, is one of the great parasite's most devious strategies for sidetracking and confusing our attempts at accumulating energy. Pursuing a couple paths simultaneously is one thing. Loading up on a confused cartload of methods like panicked grocery shopping on the eve of a hurricane, on the other hand, is almost certainly a recipe for failure. You won't know what's doing what, you'll overload your circuits and cause yourself problems, or nothing at all will happen because you're not acting with ease and grace but out of desperation and restriction, and you'll give up far too soon, telling yourself, and maybe others, that this shit doesn't work. Relax, take a deep breath. Realize you're just in some kind of simulation dream, make your choice, and let it rip with a little faith that maybe, just maybe, your higher self is out there, or in there, guiding you unerringly in the direction of your personal evolution. Keep in mind that Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither is a full complement of individual power. Fast and Furious may sell movie tickets, but slow and steady wins the race. Be the tortoise, not the hare. This is, as the saying goes, not a sprint, but a marathon. Think of soberly implementing these strategies as a game within the game where you focus, baby step by baby step, on reclaiming your full birthright of power and resurrecting and reinvigorating your probably long-buried inner child. Before you know it, like a caterpillar morphing into a butterfly, you'll grow consciousness wings strong enough to lift you up and out of whatever situations that might be seeking to drag you down, including, eventually, the simulacrum itself. Now pick your favorite strategy and get busy empowering yourself. The 11 best strategies for building up personal power. 11. Qigong. Qigong, also written Qigong, 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 and Qigong, is an ancient Eastern system of movement, breathing and meditation specifically designed to increase one's energy. This discipline is very widespread and can be learned effectively, if not, admittedly, mastered, just by following along with free YouTube videos. By spending as little as 15 or 20 minutes a day, typically first thing in the morning, on a regular basis. Over time you can significantly increase your personal power, or qi, to the extent you can feel and observe substantial changes in your body, mind, and spirit. Many practitioners report healing or, at a minimum, improvement of chronic health conditions ranging from the physical to the mental to the emotional. In my own case, Qigong stabilized me at a low point of my autoimmune illness. And though it didn't resolve my condition, it bought me precious time until I was able to discover potentiation electromagnetic repatterning and the regenetics method. More on this in a moment. By far the most efficient Qigong technique for energetically fortifying yourself is to simply stand at stake, a foundational exercise also known as hugging the tree. If this is all you do to begin moving your life force in a vertical direction, that's not a bad start. 10. Unleashing your creativity. What does creativity mean to you and how does it fit into your life? If you have difficulty defining it and don't see much of it in your daily existence, that may mean it's a valuable missing piece for you. There is, said Sophia Loren, a fountain of youth. It is your mind, your talents, the creativity you bring to your life and the lives of people you love. When you learn to tap this source, you will truly have defeated age. Another quote, from Maya Angelou, with whom, as an aside, I once rode around for hours in a limousine joyfully chatting about all things literary, also gets at the raw energy source that is creativity. You can't use up creativity. The more you use, the more you have. Nothing gets you out of the prison of your mind into the pure potential of the moment, and sometimes straight into the no-mind itself, more than passionately engaging the creative process. It really doesn't matter what turns you on. Painting, writing, fashion, cooking, handbells. It's all good if it lights you up from the inside. Make time for creativity in your life and watch as your inner dialogue begins to shift into a higher octave on its way to progressively giving way to the protective, anti-parasitic emptiness that is silent stillness.